Last week I gave a speech on taking charge of my life. And I concluded by saying that what I've learned is applicable to teaching my children how to take charge of their life. But I'm a man, my son's going to grow to be a man, and most of what I learned is applicable to him. However, I'm raising 2 daughters. Raising daughters is a different thing, and my message is that success is a different thing to a woman than it is to a man. This has been this way throughout history up until this age. Success for a woman was always defined as having children, being a successful mother, raising children to adulthood, and in the process, being successful in the society of other women, being a leader among women, and maintaining the tribe's traditions, passing down all of the cultural stuff. So in other words, for women, success was defined through other people. It was defined through their children, raising successful children. We remember the mothers of successful men, and through society, through their influence on the other women around them. So women are inherently social creatures. This changed just in the last couple hundred years, mostly in the last 100 years. Because whereas it used to be that men did most of the work because we had the strong muscles and we were expendable in war, send us off to be soldiers. Doesn't take that many men to father the next generation, but it takes a lot of mothers to bring them up. So men were always expendable, and men were always the ones who did the hard work. But that's changed. With the modern inventions such as the car and the police force and so on, women can work alongside men. And we have expected women to work alongside men, and we've kind of, through the feminism and other modern notions, said, hey, women are just the same as men. Not so. Not so. We evolved to be different. Specifically, we men evolved to be leaders of the tribe, to be the people who organized the wars, who did the hunting, who scouted through the wilderness, and women were the ones who nurtured children. Not surprising, we evolved to be good at these things. Now look at one of the measures of success in the workplace. One of the predictors is intelligence testing. Intelligence testing has been around 120 years. It was invented by men to predict which men would be successful in school and in the workplace. And guess what? Intelligence tests predicted tests for men, and they tend to say that men will do better. That's because it's a man's world for which they were invented. Men have spatial knowledge. We can find our way through the forests better than women. This is demonstrated. We're better at mathematics generally than women. We're a little bit more analytical. If intelligence tests had been designed to measure what women are good at, and we had a recent table topic session on this called emotional intelligence, we would discover that women were better than men. Women are better at nurturing, raising children, because that's what it took to be successful. Women are better at reading other people's minds, figuring out what's going on in society, better at managing gossip, because that's a woman's world, and it has always been a woman's world. So men and women are different, despite the modern dogma that says, no, we're all the same. We're not. So in recognition of the fact that we're different, let's appreciate it. What has this led to? Well, throughout history, men, as I say, have been expendable, and as expendable, only 40% of men who ever lived left children. Why is that? Well, we died in battle, or if we weren't very good as men, women would ignore us and not give us children because the stronger men were more than enough to make capable children. And what really mattered was having the most capable children. On the other hand, 80% of women who have ever lived have left children because that's what they're there for. That's what evolution created them for, having children. This precedes humanity. This is true even among the great apes. They were shocked to find this out, but the great ape males will raid other tribes, other troops of great apes, kill the males, and kill the infants, so the females can come back into estrus quickly and have their babies. It's ugly, but it's evolutionary history. Okay, how do I raise my daughters? I want to raise my daughters to be successful women. And to be a successful woman, you have to, number one, like children and be ready to nurture them, because your success is really measured in your progeny. Raising your children to adulthood. That is success as a woman. Success as a woman is in being accepted and appreciated by the other women you're around. And being a leader, knowing how to cook, knowing crafts, being appreciated for your skills. And success as a woman is defined as getting the resources you need to raise your children, and you do that by pleasing men. So what does a woman do to please men? You all know it. First, you have to be beautiful. You have to be somebody that a man wants to have on his arm to show his status among other men. A good-looking wife is one of the hardest things in the world to obtain. She's a real status symbol. You want to be valuable to your man for your skills, such as keeping a house, cooking, educating the children, and so on. You want to be valuable to a man by helping his ego, by building him up. Women forget that as you talk about competing in the workplace, trying to be the next Carly Fiorina or whatever woman pretends to be successful. What you really need is to succeed in being a good woman. And my observation is that the women who practice being good women, my wife is one of them, are happy and successful in life. And the women who try to be good men don't make it as well. I've been married to those too. So this is what I'm going to teach my daughters. Practice being good women. Madam Toastmaster.